My mother announced she was moving into my beach house. She said it like it was already decided. Like my opinion didn't matter. Like the house belonged to her. But what she didn't know was that I wasn't standing there alone. I had someone behind me. Someone who knew the truth. Someone who knew exactly what my mother was trying to do. My name is Michael Bennett. And that day at my beach house changed my entire relationship with my family. I never thought a place could mean so much to me. Not because of the money. Not because of the ocean view. But because of what it represented. Freedom. Independence. A life I built by myself. For years I worked non-stop. Long hours. Sacrifices. Missed vacations. While other people were relaxing on weekends, I was building my career. Saving every extra dollar. Making every difficult choice. Until finally, I bought my dream home. A small beach house on the coast of California. Nothing huge. Just a peaceful place where I could wake up and hear the waves. A place that was completely mine. My family knew how much that house meant to me. Especially my mother, Linda. At first she seemed proud. She posted pictures of the house online. Told everyone. My son finally made it. But slowly, something changed. The compliments became expectations. The visits became longer. And the comments became different. You know, this house is too big for one person. You should let family enjoy it more. You don't need all this space. I ignored it. I thought she was just talking. I was wrong. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. I was sitting on the back porch, drinking coffee, watching the waves. One of my favorite moments. Quiet. Peaceful. Then I heard a car pull into the driveway. I looked up. My mother's SUV. And behind her, another car filled with boxes. I stood up slowly. What is this? I asked. She stepped out with a smile. A smile that immediately told me something was wrong. What do you mean? She said. I'm moving in. I thought I heard her incorrectly. You're what? She opened the trunk. Boxes everywhere. My apartment lease is ending next month, she said casually. And honestly, this makes more sense. I stared at her. Mom, you can't just move into my house. Her expression changed. Not surprised. Almost offended. Your house? She repeated. I felt my stomach tighten. Yes. My house. She crossed her arms. You wouldn't have this place without the support you received from this family. There it was. The old argument. The invisible debt. The idea that everything I achieved somehow belonged to everyone else. I appreciate everything you've done, I said calmly. But that doesn't mean you can move in without asking me. She laughed softly. You're being dramatic. No, I replied. I'm setting a boundary. That word immediately changed her mood. Boundary. She hated that word. Because boundaries meant she couldn't decide everything for me anymore. After everything I've done for you, she said. I looked at her. Mom, this isn't about appreciation. It's about permission. She looked toward the house. I'm your mother. And I'm your son, I replied. But that doesn't make this yours. Silence. For a few seconds. Neither of us spoke. Then she smiled. A confident smile. Like she had another card to play. Fine, she said. Maybe you should talk to someone who understands the situation. I frowned. What does that mean? She reached into her purse, pulled out a folder, and handed it to me. I opened it. My expression changed. Because inside were documents, claims, arguments, things she had prepared without telling me. She wasn't asking anymore. She was trying to make it official. You can't be serious, I said. I'm serious about family, she replied. And family takes care of each other. I closed the folder, looked at her, then smiled slightly, because there was one thing she didn't know. I had already taken precautions months earlier. After noticing the way things were changing, I had contacted someone who understood property law better than anyone in my family, someone who could explain exactly where I stood. My lawyer. My mother noticed my expression. Why are you smiling? She asked. I looked past her, toward the driveway. A black sedan had just arrived. The door opened. A man stepped out holding a briefcase. My mother's smile disappeared. Who is that? She asked. I calmly replied. Someone you should have talked to before making plans for my house. The lawyer walked toward us. And for the first time that afternoon, my mother looked uncertain, because she came expecting me to give in. She came expecting the same son who stayed quiet. But she was about to learn something important. I wasn't that person anymore. And this time, the truth was on my side. My mother stared at the man walking toward us. The confidence on her face slowly disappeared. Michael, who is this? She asked. I looked at her calmly. This is Daniel Reed, my attorney. The silence that followed was different. Not angry, not dramatic, just uncomfortable. Because for the first time, my mother realized this wasn't a conversation she could control. Daniel greeted us politely. Mrs. Bennett, I understand there may be some confusion regarding the property. My mother immediately changed her tone. There is no confusion. I'm his mother. I have every right to stay here. Daniel opened his folder. Being a family member does not automatically create ownership or residency rights. Her expression tightened. But he's my son, she said. Daniel nodded. And he is also the legal owner of this property. Those words hit harder than I expected. Because they weren't emotional. They were facts. My mother looked at me. You actually hired a lawyer against your own mother? I took a breath. No, Mom. I hired a lawyer because I needed someone to protect my decisions. She looked away. For years, she was used to me explaining myself, apologizing, giving in. But not anymore. Daniel reviewed the documents she brought, then looked up. These papers do not give you permission to move in. They appear to be based on assumptions, not agreements. My mother's confidence started fading. But I thought he would understand, she said quietly. And there it was. The real issue. She never asked. She assumed. She believed being my mother meant she didn't need permission. I looked at the boxes sitting near the driveway. You packed your things before asking me. She stayed silent. Because she knew it was true. Daniel closed his folder. I recommend removing the belongings today and having a respectful conversation about boundaries. My mother looked hurt. Not because she lost the argument. Because she lost control. She picked up her phone and walked away. For a moment, I thought she was going to fight harder. Instead, she simply said, I never thought my own son would do this to me. I looked at the ocean behind the house, the place I worked years to earn. Then I looked back at her. I never thought my own mother would try to take it without asking. Neither of us spoke. Because sometimes the hardest conversations aren't about winning. They're about finally seeing the truth. And that day, my mother finally understood something. Family can ask for support. Family can ask for help. But family cannot demand control over the life someone else built. And as she slowly began moving the boxes back into her car, I realized something. Protecting my peace wasn't disrespect. It was necessary. A few days passed. The beach house was quiet again, the way I always wanted it to be. My mother called once. I answered. For the first time her voice sounded different. Not demanding. Not certain. Just honest. I didn't realize how much I crossed the line, she said. I stayed quiet for a moment. Because an apology doesn't erase everything. But admitting the mistake matters. I love you, Mom, I said. But loving someone doesn't mean giving them control over everything you built. She understood. Not immediately, but eventually. Months later, she visited the beach house. This time she knocked and waited for me to open the door. That small action meant more than any apology, because respect isn't shown by words. It's shown by changed behavior. I looked at the ocean that evening and smiled. I didn't lose my family by setting a boundary. I finally protected the life I worked so hard to create. Glowing star moral. Love your family, but never let anyone use love as a reason to ignore your boundaries. Respect must go both ways.